Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Dead Space. Interestingly enough, I've said before, the game is very bright for me and yet the accurate level of darkness for everybody else. And I have no reason why that is, but when I pause it, the game does actually get to about the level of darkness that the game should look like for everybody. So it must be incredibly dark for everybody else when the game's paused. We are halfway through this area, or perhaps 1/3 of the way through this area. We were introduced into kind of two new enemies, the babies, and ooh, that got really dark. Look at that. Like, is that because the door closed? It is. So, look at the hallway here. As soon as you walk away from the door, it closes, and then the lights in the area dim. And if this is dark for me, it's probably incredibly dark for other people. We can see a shadow moving back and forth, trying to spook you out. It's a guy banging his head. So becoming a necromorph isn't just turning into the monsters alone. There's something that seems to happen before then. Recharge your stasis and pick up that bullets. Bullets have pretty much just equated into money. I will need some bullets, but in all actuality, you don't need them as much as you think. Power lock enabled. So here's the thing. You go in here and you can put a power node in it to unlock the area to potentially get more power nodes. Here's some text we're not going to read, but it's just saying that people who use these, who are affected probably by the marker. Let's see, I don't know what that is. But there is a schematic here, so it makes sense. This will cost 1 power node for 10,000. So we open that. And there will be some cases where that's worth it. And there probably will be some cases where that's not worth it.
You found something down there, didn't you?
Yes, we found something.
So the texts were right all this time.
I wouldn't be certain of that. There was nothing divine in what I saw.
We must embrace this. We are the first witnesses.
Matthias isn't letting anyone down in the colony. It's under quarantine until we learn more.
To hell with Matthias. He of all people should know that this is greater than him, or the operation, or even the company. This is our deliverance.
Keep your damn voice down. People are dying down there.
Only the worthless and the unbelievers. But I believe. Do you believe, Terrence? Do you?
So this game might as well have just started with the unitologists being mentioned, because frankly, if you had having no knowledge of that for the first whole part of the game doesn't make a lot of sense. So because I bought the guns, I picked up ammo for the guns, which tells me I can now sell the ammo for the guns, and I imagine flamethrower ammo is either I can hold more of it in one slot or it's more valuable. Now for upgrading things and giving capacity to things, I've already pretty much determined that I'm not going to use any of these guns except for the line gun. So my 2 nodes, not the line gun, but the plasma cutter, my 2 nodes should just go to this direction and damage. And if we get the damage high enough, it will just be one-shot kills no matter what. Of course, I just spent a node to unlock a room, so it's always worthwhile to have a extra node if you can afford it. And so going forward, that should be something. As far as kinesis, increasing the range is probably useless, increasing stasis, but you can see this menu is totally full. There's nothing more we're gonna have with that. No more guns, no more upgrades. Why can't I just remove the node from the node lock as an engineer, as somebody who's a welder?
On heavy objects that display this symbol.
And we're getting this kinesis prompt which means I have to remember which button is kinesis. Right. Stop right there and let's look in here. Don't want to waste too many bullets. And I did waste too many bullets. Gotta be careful of these guys with tails, because the tail might very easily stab me. Let's see, it wants me to use telekinesis to, which they've just limited it straight down. Just watch this guy die. There's our power node back. So you probably figured that what would happen is the guy pulse rounds, schematic acquired. Is it worth getting schematics? Absolutely. And we've got our node back, and going forward I'm gonna just hold on to one node. Walking out of an area and walking back in an area. Let's see. I don't think I can use the cargo lift until I move this battery power here. Which I've seen games actually do a lot worse job at having a telekinesis ability than this. It's actually being able to just lift it up and then walk around. And you could see as an engineer why fewer limbs to chop off here, particularly if I'm missing. So gotta be careful. There's no pathway or anything. Just looking around. I want to play thoroughly, but also there's certainly a level of just lack of interest in doing everything, considering there's no achievements in this game, well, in the PC version. And we can save ourselves a bullet by doing that. I am low enough, by the way, that I could just use a health pack. But we have to hold on to schematics, we have to hold on to everything else, and that's certainly a lot of pathways seem just blocked off. Clearly it's because the game is going to have us go in circles, or one would hope that in normal gameplay. So we have to either run here while we're in a vacuum, or let's see, I believe that's a pickup, and I've got to find, I've got 45 seconds to get things. $30 seconds. I want to find as many things as possible. Interesting. It's an interesting idea, certainly. 20 seconds to go.
As you know, the Ishimura is able to set its gravity locally. Your grav boost will kick in when you enter a zero-G area.
So, we saw some of this in Prey, but we haven't actually seen a lot of games embrace the idea of being outside in space. Frankly, there's just a little less than ideal options. Now, I believe telekinesis doesn't even use any stasis powers, so we're going to turn off the gravity, and then a bunch of necromorphs, I keep wanting to call them xenomorphs, and you have to turn off the gravity, by the way, because you can't cross this line any other way.
Your ammo counter will flash red if you can't jump to a surface.
So we are going to try and jump to a surface. Well, I shot that thing, and I can't jump this way. Oh, yes, I can. Let's turn this off and look around. And then we can shoot things like that. Let's put some bullets in our gun. And so it doesn't want us really to jump on the sides and do too much of that stuff. Like, maybe I could go this direction, but this really just seems like a tutorial section. There's nothing here. I was expecting to be attacked. Again, interesting ideas. No real implementation here. I think that was the bullets. And then we're back this way. And we can just use this to power this if we can get it in. And there's really no reason for the other 2 power cores. They had 4 power cores. Interesting. Just things like if we wanted a 0 gravity explosion, we could do that. But I should be a little bit more precious on the bullets.
Exiting 0 gravity.
Should save things. Ah, the shock pad is a defibrillator.
Great. You got a shock pad. Combine that with the thermite at the barricade to destroy it. Shit. I can hear more coming. Moving through the vents. Stay safe, Isaac.
So I guess that makes sense, but why would you have the shock pad?
Entering 0 gravity.
I don't even know where he is. And that wasn't enough. So, I don't know what happened there. It just seems like you couldn't make a full jump. You have to have enough room to actually play the animation. This is offline, and as best as I can tell, there's no like item to pick up or collectible, no weapons, so we're back to this.
Exiting 0 gravity.
And it seems very strange to have 0 gravity and
Entering vacuum.
vacuum being separate sections. If there's anything out there to collect, I didn't see it, just like I didn't see the Necromorph there. So Necromorphs can be in vacuum, they don't need oxygen. It seems like they are quite the creatures, if you even could call them that. They seem magical. There's water floating out. And just by default right now, there seems to be plenty of oxygen.
Exiting vacuum.
And all the sound cuts out. Again, why can't I get into this area? And the game almost feels like it wants you to play a second time around. And that in that action, areas will unlock and other things will unlock. Otherwise, I have to use the argument that I make a lot, which is that this game was unfinished. And it feels polished enough to not immediately make that assumption. Maybe not run in a game like this. Not until the enemies show up. I suppose that's the backward way of playing something. You can see my damage increases. Certainly helping. And this whole section again. I assume we're gonna run back through this area. The bodies have been moved, so they've either turned into the necromorphs we found or just despawned for the game engine's benefit. Yeah, I said it earlier, and the game is so far proving it to be the case that being a 9-year-old game, they just can't have that many creatures in an area. A remake of this, you could have twice as many creatures at half health, make it feel more overwhelming, more like a zombie thing. Let's see, we have one node, so I don't feel a reason to ever use that one node. So let's not. I want to hold on to it in case we run into another node locked door. So these guys are a pain. They hurt your health. They waste your bullets. We haven't gotten to use the flamethrower. But so normally I wouldn't use any other weapon, but in this case it actually works decently well. But they're slowly eating away at my health, and there's no recovering health without paying for it in resources. So the game is doing maybe a little fast of a job, but a good job nonetheless of introducing new enemies and making the game have a flow to it. I suppose in trilogies or series like this, you run into an issue where then you're, how would you say it? You kind of constantly see, a small med pack would be 2,000. A node, it would be 10,000. I think when we look at the medical pack here, it's better to do this. Sell. Valuable electronics is a gold semiconductor for 3,000. So selling that alone was not worth holding on to. If that was the only thing I got for using a plasma node, I actually probably didn't get my money back, did I? Just make sure we never accidentally sell the guns, because I imagine if I sold the guns, I'm a little low on bullets now. Let's see, small med pack, yes. Power node, yes. Power node, yes. And power node, yes. And I think we're gonna be good to go. Hopefully the game adjusts, and so I can live off the health I have. So we got thermite, which I don't know again why there was thermite, and a defibrillator. Merging those two together, we burnt through this, which why my plasma welder couldn't have just cut through all of this metal makes no sense.
Okay, you're through. Should be clear from there to the morgue. Remember, the codes are on the captain's body.
We need the captain's body's codes. Going through the medical bay and learning more about the Necromorph makes sense.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan transmitting ship-wide. We need more help. We don't have the resources to deal with this many cases. Nobody would tell us what's happening. These wounds, we are not equipped to deal with this. God. Get him to the table. Hold him. Not you. Hold him down. Christ. And record him.
That was Nicole, right? I can't tell from here when that log was made. I'm sure she's around here somewhere.
So we're still looking for Nicole, which, frankly, your commitment to that is a little weird. Here we have these round tunnels that just ripping through the metal of the ship. So something very strong. And go through that door. But this must be the waiting room. There's too much blood in these areas. It's painted up like a horror festival instead of what would actually naturally happen. And this gives the impression that thousands of these necromorphs managed to rush the entire area and kill everything. And if that was the actual case, then there must have, you'd have to assume that thousands and thousands of necromorphs somehow managed to run and leave the area. Leave the entire ship. Unless they just have this decay to them that causes them to, I don't know. That looks gross. Like a rat in soup or something. A lot of things to knock around, a lot of weapon ammo and to collect. Money to collect. Here we're hearing whispering again. Isaac clearly is not mentally sound. Like, he's hearing whispering that doesn't seem to be correlated or connected to any actual voices. We're not finding people, and unless the necromorphs have a whisper that they make something that sounds like humans whispering, which isn't a terrible idea to add to an enemy in any game or horror story. And it's just audio development for the sake of being spooky. Again, just way too much blood. This is way too much blood. And there's nothing here, so we'll probably telekinesis this. Or just kinesis. It's called just kinesis. Into this. And not quite in. Enough for the game. And still not quite in. Enough for the game. Let's try this again. And so here, if we need to refill our oxygen, they've introduced oxygen recharge elements. And we need to, it wants me actually to go a different direction. So another locked section. So this is probably vacuum, if I was to guess. And it felt like the game moved me back. For a second. Actually, the game's rather doing a great job with the audio. Like, every little audio cue seems to be based on me seeing that there's an enemy somewhere. And that's our first real room that... So, just for the sake of seeing content, we will go in rooms with power node locks. And we will hope these are good trade-offs. And we hope that buying schematics... Maybe I could sell schematics? No, you can't sell them. But maybe there's a new game plus element to this, that on the first time you play on easy, and then the second time all the schematics and everything are already unlocked, and because of that, it's just all extra money. Just make sure all of these are actually things I shot and killed, and there isn't one playing possum. Compared to the Doom reboot, I would say that this game is slow. Deliberately slow.
Hello? Can anybody hear me? My name is Eileen Fisk. I just woke up in here and everybody was gone. I don't know what's happening. Why did they all leave? I'm going to try and find someone. If you can hear this, please come for me. I can hear scratching in the wall. Hello? Who's there? Are you a doctor? Why is everyone... Wait, I know you. You're Harris, the prisoner from the colony. You killed that nurse. Help! Somebody help me! Please!
So maybe she got killed before the Necromorph even... Here we've got a text log we won't read. More bullets. More money. More oxygen. And see, they crawled up this vent, but then the vent closed. Which is helpful. This game does punish you for playing thoroughly, but not in a really bad way. It more rewards you with more gameplay than actually punishes you for having to fight people. So it makes them crazy even before it turns them into necromorphs. And I wasn't looking, but I think she just slit her own throat. Let's see. Doesn't matter. Can't break the glass or anything. Inconsistency in the gameplay. I can break the glass of the soda machines. I can't break the glass of these, yet something can clearly break the glass of these. Another text log. You can see they were running a little low on budget. There's really no reason for that. EA, Electronic Arts, could have paid them to have more voice logs, but this is kind of a sort of unknown company, or not one in high esteem. So there must be some form of credentials that unlocks some of these doors, but I don't know how I'm gonna find them.
Science log Chief Science Officer Dr. Kine reporting. The colony's problems concern me greatly. I have no doubt they are somehow linked to the discovery of the marker, but the exact nature of that connection is still unknown. Almost 40% of the colonists are experiencing a form of dementia. The obvious symptoms are acute depression, insomnia, and hallucination. Incidents of violence and even murder also indicate extreme paranoia. Dr. Mercer has advised that I bring some of the affected on board to study. Dr. Wellen, the planet-side psychiatrist, has reported that his own analysis has been fruitless. I'm hesitant to rely on Dr. Mercer at this point, but I need his expertise. We need solutions, and we need them quickly.
So it's possible that everything we're seeing here is a hallucination, that some kind of other virus or element occurred and Isaac has just been infected with that, and he's shooting at nothing or shooting at humans, or he's not shooting at all and he's just hallucinating that he's shooting. There's many different ways it could go. We have a creepy guy. They are watching. There's a lot of subtle things in the design. So there you have a flying creature that is eating a body, and it turns it into a bigger necromorph. And that was the captain.
Codes received, and they look good. Thank God. I'll start accessing the captain's records right now. Head to the tram station, and I'll contact you there. I'm going to find out what the hell happened to this ship.
So, if we see any more of those creatures, we need to kill them quickly. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they would have crawled to all of the corpses and turned them into more necromorphs, which certainly wouldn't have been good. And it just feels like we're gonna re-enter this whole area, or we're leaving by a different way than what we came in from. Power nodes. The captain must have died pretty quickly. Here's a bunch of cryptic, because they made him, he made it all the way to the med area. See, this area's door is locked, but I guess that doesn't really matter as long as the glass is there. Plasma energy. And I don't want to play so crazily OCD that I need to search areas twice in a row. See where this elevator takes us. Health isn't great, so let's go ahead and use this. And we just came out through the door that we started in. So why do we need so many oxygen tanks? It must be because oxygen is going to be an issue. Let's see, we can hear on the side of this door. Hitting under their legs seems to half the time work and half the time not. Aiming for legs instead of head, certainly not something you do in games. I've said it several times, but it's a good way to subvert normal gameplay.
Somehow one of them found a way down to the captain's nest. I managed to contain it in a damaged escape pod. Lifting executive lockdown now. I found the deck logs. Whatever is happening around here, it came from the planet when they cracked it open. It spread to the colony and reached the ship. Isaac, this isn't an infection. It's some form of alien life. Shit, we've got bigger problems. The ship's engines are offline and our orbit is decaying. Get over to the engineering deck ASAP while I stay here and figure out what the problem is.
Stand by, can't save while in the cutscene. So the executive lockdown doesn't unlock these locked chests. Let's quickly look at the store. This game is a little bit more inventory management than I think I would like. Sell the stasis pack. Keep 25 plasma energy. In fact, not even sell that. Just sell that. Just sell everything else. And see, if I sell this flame fuel, I probably should. I could also put things in the safe. So maybe eventually I'll start doing that, particularly if I just maximize everything. I'm gonna get 2 power nodes and save 10,000 and get a small med pack and use that right now. That way, if suit level 3 unlocks as soon as we leave this area, then we are in good shape. I think that very possibly is what we're going to do next. Let's see. As soon as I reload, I should only be holding 1 stack of weapons. Let's see, yeah, they do want me to just leave, and that probably means we're gonna be done, and there's a decent chance. I'm gonna go ahead and also overwrite this hour long save file, and let's see how long we've been playing now, although I don't really need to know. 2 hours and 18 minutes, so maybe a 1/6 of the way done with the game. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.